Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video. Today is going to be more of a skill and chill where you sit back, minimize the video, and sort of just listen. So today we're going to be talking about my year of 2024 and kind of what it's been like. We've had some ups and we've definitely had some downs, but overall it has been a solid year. And yeah, I'm thankful that I'm able to continue doing this and doing what I love on the side, and yeah, it's been working out great. So for all of the people out there that have been wondering what I've been up to on Runescape this year, it has kind of been Chambers of Xeric and Chambers of Xeric only. So yeah, back in February of 2024, I kind of was like, damn, I want a twisted bow, and it was always something that I've always wanted on the account, and I'm like, the only way to get a twisted bow is from the Chambers of Xeric. So I spent the next month and a half kind of learning on how to do it. I did it with a couple of people, you know, in like random clans and whatever. I did it with a couple of friends, a couple of viewers, stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I hate this. I need to learn how to solo the content. So, you know, I spent some time researching and I eventually figured out how I could get solo kills. Now, that took a very long time to do, you know, learning all of the puzzles, all the bosses, everything that goes with the Chambers of Xeric. I eventually did learn how to do everything, and then, you know, you get to the final boss fight, which is very difficult to do solo, especially when you're used to skilling, you're used to, you know, that type of content in the game, AFKing and skilling, so doing something like, you know, fighting the Great Olm is very difficult to do. It's a non-stop clicking boss for 20 minutes and you have to kind of almost be tick perfect or you die, right? So yeah, it definitely took a very long time to learn, but I can confidently say that I can do it now. It did take some time, however. I used to have to go in with a whole inventory of food and just basically do the quote-unquote suicide method, where you walk into the room and basically just die, and then you get a full inventory of food to go in again and do it. And this is the way I personally learned on how to solo the Chambers of Xeric. And if you are looking to do that, I would highly recommend anyone to just do that as your starting ground. So you have a second inventory of food, you know, you can kind of learn the mechanics, mess up, doesn't really matter. You got a lot of extra food on your back. But yeah, I realized that's been a lot of the content that I've been uploading this entire year on my channel, other than updates and stuff like that. Most of my Ironman progression series has been Chambers of Xeric videos, and that's for a reason. Like I said at the very start, the goal is eventually to get a twisted bow one day, and yeah, I've got like 350 KC, something like that now on my Ironman, and of course we still do not have the twisted bow. You know, we've got a couple of the purples. I think we have like 13 or 14 purples now on the account, which is pretty nice, but we're still chasing that twisted bow. Yeah, that grind has definitely taken up most of the year, and that's pretty much the main focus that I've been working towards, is learning the Chambers of Xeric, getting really good at it, and being able to complete it perfectly every single time, and, you know, hope for that twisted bow one day. Now, at the very start of the year, when I first started learning it and was getting like 3, 4, 5 KC a day, I was like, yeah, we're gonna finish this in like 6 months, and a year later, no, we still haven't finished it, and it's one of those things, right, where right now I'm playing the Raging Echoes League, and I've kind of just put that account on the back burner right now. We're currently mining amethyst, kind of not paying attention to the account at all, and it's a nice little break. You always need little breaks in RuneScape or you will burn out. Other than the Chambers of Xeric and my Ironman account, this year, what I've focused on is just making videos on updates and whatever has come new to the game, right? Say there is a brand new quest, I will do the quest, make a guide for it, type thing like that. I've done a lot of update videos this year. They seem to do really well on the channel, and I really appreciate you guys for watching and liking them, because, yeah, that's kind of carried my channel this year, because there hasn't been a lot of Ironman content, because I've I've just been so busy at the Chambers of Xeric. We've been covering all of the updates that Old School RuneScape has been putting out, and yeah, there's a lot of exciting ones, especially the new ones coming in, like sailing, different parts of the map being added, different mechanics, different, you know, stuff like that has been very, very cool to cover. And yeah, you guys seem to really like that type of content, and yeah, hopefully I can do that in the new year. As for the alt account, Tutorial Island to Twisted Bow, haven't really touched that much this year, and I definitely apologize for that. I would say for the first half of the year, really didn't play the account much at all, and I kind of just one day at work was like, why am I not playing that account on the side? You know what I'm saying? Like, I might as well be doing that on the side, so I kind of picked it up again and started to do some rune crafting on it. I think we're at like 94, 95 rune crafting, something like that now on the account, which is pretty damn good. We've made a couple 100 million GP, and yeah, I think the bank is sitting about 200 mil. It was almost 300, but you know how the economy is, so we've lost a lot of money with some investments that we've made in the past that we thought would do really well, such as the Fang, stuff like that. We lost some money there. We lost some money on bandos, whatever it is. I kind of sold most of the items off now. We're just holding mostly liquid GP, and we've just been rune crafting. But right now, as you can see, this account is on the Raging Echoes League. Some other interesting things that happened this year is Andrew Gower released a brand new game, and it was called Brighter Shores, and it came out a couple of months ago, and I played it. I would say probably a week after release. I didn't play it right away or anything like that. I waited for a couple of videos to come out before I even tried it, type thing. And yes, it was actually genuinely a lot of fun. A lot of people tended to hate the game, saying it was just kind of, you know, an XP fest, but we play RuneScape, right? Maybe there weren't RuneScape players kind of reviewing it. I don't really know what it was, but it definitely was a fun game. And I pretty much finished the second part of the whole story. You had to pay for the third and the fourth part of it, and I never ended up paying for it. Now, I definitely, if I didn't make YouTube videos or if I wasn't so busy in real life, I definitely would have paid and actually played the rest of that game. I was having a blast with it myself. It was a lot of fun. I really liked the whole movement. I did like the combat in it. It was definitely a great game, and shout out to Andrew Gower for making Brighter Shores. It definitely was a lot of fun, and I like the whole AFK aspect of it, where you could say do a very slow activity while you're offline, sort of to eliminate the whole botting situation that his previous game, Old School RuneScape, had, type thing. Very, very cool mechanic with that game, and yeah, if you guys have never tried Brighter Shores, I would definitely give it a chance, because I had a bunch of fun with it. I even uploaded 2 videos of Brighter Shores to my channel, and I have a playlist on my channel if you guys want to check it out. I was planning on uploading a 3rd video, but it got a lot of hate for some reason. Okay, so now is going to be where I talk about sort of my real life and what has changed this year. So this time last year, I was actually delivering food for an app where it was similar to, say, like Uber Eats, but it was an app that was around where I live. And basically, you know, you pick up orders, you deliver them to the house, you get paid for it, type thing. You're self-employed. It was great because I could do RuneScape at the same time. But yeah, the app got really busy. Not really busy, I should say. There's a lot of people coming and joining the app, and eventually it died from where I live. So you pretty much couldn't make money off of it anymore, and it was getting very, very low. And it was one of those things where it was like, personally, I was kind of fine with working 4-hour shifts and then coming home, type thing. But it was like, at the end of the day, you need to make money to survive, and I wanted to better my future, type thing, right? So yeah, I needed to look for a new job, and last year I actually got a new job working for a factory that made Honda parts. And I was kind of like on a contract basis type thing. And in January of this year, I got hired on as a full-time employee. So now I'm a full-time employee making Honda parts at a factory at nighttime shift type thing. So basically I work 3:30 p.m. till 1 a.m. every night. Besides for the past month, it's been pretty crazy. December has been insane. I've been working so much overtime every single week, working 2, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. even some nights. It's been pretty brutal. But it's one of those things where it's like I have a nice secure job where I make decent money, has some good benefits, and really couldn't complain. I do like the people I work with. The job isn't so bad itself. It's not super stressful or anything like that. The way I look at it is it's almost like training a Runescape skill. It's really repetitive work over and over and over. And the end goal, instead of getting a 99 cape, is your shift is done. You know what I mean? So next I kind of want to talk about something more personal to me. And it's about my best friend actually passing away this year at the age of 24. Now, this kid and me were best friends forever, and his name was Andrew, and we've been best friends pretty much since we were, I would say, 6, 7 years old, all the way up until 23, 24, right? And it's really sad when you really think about it, because it was very unexpected. It definitely shouldn't have ever happened, and it's one of those things where you always think back and wish you just spent more time with the person, right? But it was one of those things where I like I said, in January I got hired on at work full time, and I was just working. It was kind of just like very repetitive, day-to-day type thing. Always doing the same thing. The occasional time my girlfriend would come to my break at work, which would be at 8 o'clock at night. And in the summertime anyways, where I live, it's still light at that time. Right now it's dark as hell at that time, but right now, or back in the summer, it was very light at that time, right? And she drove a green car. So she would show up to my work, and from time to time, and usually she would just bring me lunch or come to say hi type thing. And I'm like, okay, I'll see you tonight, whatever. And this time she showed up at my work. I got off. It was just my first break of the night, and I was like, all right, we'll go outside type thing. And I see her green car, and I'm like, nice, my girlfriend's here. I walk up to her car, and she's crying in tears, and I'm like, what happened? Are you okay? Like, and she just puts a picture in my face, and like, I have really bad vision, so like, I just see a guy's face, like in, like, her phone's like directly in my face, and I just see this guy, and I'm just thinking, like, the first thing I thought of was like, oh, you cheated on me, like, what the hell, like, what happened? And then all of a sudden she like zooms it out a bit, and I just like look, and I'm like, that's my friend Andrew. And it was his dad posting on Facebook that he had unfortunately passed away. I kind of almost just froze up. I really didn't even know what to think, and I kind of just sat on the ground outside of my work for a very long time. And it was coming to the point where like my break was over and I had to go back into work. And it was one of those things where I kind of wanted to just be like, let's go back into work. You know what I mean? Just push through this. Let's go. I don't want to think about this right now. But I couldn't do that. So I walked back into work, and I went up to my boss and I said, hey man, like, I need the night off. I just found out my best friend died. And he was like, okay, it's okay. Take the night off, take a few days off if you need type thing. And yeah, I hope you're okay. And I was just like, thank you very much. I went over to my other best friend's house, and he just found out the news too from his girlfriend as well. And we kind of just all sat outside together for a couple of minutes, watching their dogs play in the backyard. And we really didn't even speak too much. It was kind of just like, I can't believe this happened. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, it was very, very sad. And I kind of just went back home and just got completely faded out of my mind. I drank like 12, 13 beers that night. I don't even really remember what happened, but I couldn't even know what to think. You know what I'm saying? He was definitely a very cool guy to hang around. And he was always one of those kids that was kind of the kid that didn't give a fuck about anything, right? Like, I would always love driving with him because he would just be going fast as hell all the time. And especially, like, we live in Canada, right? So we had a ton of snow. He'd be doing donuts in the snow and drifting around corners. And this is stuff that I personally would never do. One, because I have anxiety and I'm definitely too scared to do stuff like that. But like, he just didn't care. Consequences didn't mean anything to him ever, and he would just be doing that all of the time. So we definitely had a lot of fun with this guy, you know what I mean? And these are just memories that I will never ever forget in my life. And he just never seemed to basically care about anything. Like I said, like we walked across this like pole one time, like when we were in a forest, and he fell from, I would say, like 15 feet, just like fell on a bunch of rocks. And we were all like, this kid's dead. And he just was like, yeah, I'm fine, I need a cigarette. Like he was that type of guy. It was crazy. But yeah, obviously after that, man, like I had to go to his funeral and I had to see all of my old high school friends again. And it was definitely really sad, and it really hurt me a lot. And I eventually actually got his tattoo, or his name tattooed on my arm, which I will show at the end of the video. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes since the last clip. I needed to clear my mind a little bit, obviously. So after that, man, it was kind of just like I needed a change in my life. And I've been living at my parents' my whole life. I was 24 at the time. I'm 25 now, and it's one of those things where I just really needed a change in my life after that huge event. So basically, me and my girlfriend have been looking for a long time to kind of get a place to move out together, but we've looked at the market before, and it's one of those things like where, you know, you have the perfect application, but you apply for something in Ontario, Canada, and it's just already gone. It's like a bot has already like taking it over. That's how Ontario is in Canada right now. It is so fucking bad. But you know, it's one of those things where we quote unquote got lucky for this place. We found a place that's really good, has 2 floors type thing. If you guys want to see the house, I have a house tour on my channel. Feel free to check it out, of course. But yeah, we ended up getting a place together. We're renting. We didn't buy. A lot of people in that video were like, how much did you pay for it? And I'm like, man, I'm renting. But yeah, it's one of those things where it really definitely helped me quite a bit. There was so much going on in my life, right? Like when I was living back with my parents, I had to focus on myself. I had to focus on my job. I had to focus on my YouTube channel. And also I had to focus on my girlfriend, and she lived out of town. So she lived like 35-minute drive away, right? So you got to think about that. 35 minutes away, 35 minutes to come back to my place. That's an hour gone. You know what I'm saying? That's like 200 XP. So I'm just joking, but like it's really one of those things where driving time does make a genuine difference. And that's one of the reasons why I never really wanted to work at a company that was like a very far distance from my house, because at the end of the day, like gas and time, when you add it all together, it really doesn't make sense. Work for somewhere that pays a little less, that is closer to you. It really will make a difference in your life, trust me. Especially like if you live in somewhere like Canada, like me, where weather is bipolar and just could be sunny and then a storm in 2-3 minutes time type thing. Like if you work as close as possible to home, or if you work from home, congratulations, because you've already won the game. But the moral of this story is basically like moving out definitely helped me a lot. Like I was in a place pretty much where I just couldn't deal with it anymore, right? Like especially with the passing of my friend, right? It was almost one of those things where I would just like come home from work every night and get absolutely faded out of my mind. Like I couldn't know how to handle it with being around so many people all the time. Like, you know what I mean? I needed my own space, my own freedom, and it was at the age where I really wanted to move out anyways. My girlfriend is actually 2 years younger than me, so it was a little more difficult to convince her to move out, but yeah, she's definitely happy now that we have our own spot together. And we work opposite shifts, so a lot of people always ask me, oh, how do you have time to play Runescape so much? It's because I don't get sleep. I wake up the same time she wakes up at 7:30 in the morning, and I know life Runescape all day until I have to go to work at 3:30, and then I work and I go to sleep and repeat the process. And I actually don't play RuneScape on the weekends. I spend time with her, so that's kind of how it all works out. I just get less sleep and sleep a lot more on the weekends type thing, and spend time with my girlfriend. So yeah, that's kind of how it is now. And honestly, I've been a lot happier than I've been in a very long time. I'm definitely spending a lot more money, but hey, that's life, is it not? Yeah, so that has been my 2024. Lots of ups and lots of downs. And right now, I will put in my tattoos that I did end up getting for my friend Andrew. And I got another one of an hourglass, which basically just represents how life is short and you really shouldn't take it for granted, you know what I mean? Especially after losing my best friend Andrew. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, you really have to value your health and your life. So really take that. And yeah, I put them on the inner sides of my arm. So like whenever I'm looking down, I see those tattoos, and I will always remember my friend Andrew, which I like always will anyways. And the dice that I got there were to represent his age of 24. And yeah, the hourglass is always just to remember that, you know, time is ticking and enjoy every moment. Even if you're just grinding, sitting there at a factory, sitting at work, hating your life, you know, you're oh, I want the shift to be over. Look at that tattoo, you know, and it's like your time is ticking, man. Enjoy this. Like, talk to somebody right now. Like, I'm working with 3-4 other people. Talk to them, have a good time, and enjoy yourself. That is what life is all about. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video today, and thank you for allowing me to do this for as long as I've definitely been doing, and especially for this year. It's definitely been such a great year. Thank you guys for all the new subscribers. Thank you for all the new viewers. It's definitely just been such a good year, and I can't wait to see what 2025 holds. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. See ya later. Oh, and Merry Christmas, by the way.